Hello, hello. Sound test. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's wait for a couple of minutes, see if there's any more people joining. Okay, we're gonna wait for one more minute, and then we're gonna start. Okay, so yeah, I think let's get started. Hey, so my name is G. I'm Mesos, Apache Mesos committer since like 2013. I volunteer to run this working group because I think, so just give you some background that I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the containerization area, and also like I feel like we have a lot of problems, especially like a review those patches takes time, and I think right now like I'm being the blocker for many of the reviews, which is not great. I'll see like I think obviously there's a lot of interest. I'm so glad to see like we have so many people interested in this working group, and I hope that we have this forum so that every people that interested in this topic can get together and do design feedback on maybe on coordinated review process, like for example, who review what, when to review that, what's still pending, what needs attention, things like that. And also I want this forum to be like an information sharing forum. So like, for example, like if something is planned for this part of the code base, we want to make sure that everyone is on the same page and things like that. So that's the reason I add this first agenda item on the working group notes. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I think this is the first agenda in today's meeting. I think we should call out like what's the purpose of this working group. These are the three things I added there, like design feedback and review, coordinated review processes, like who review what, when to review, and what's still pending needs attention. and also like information sharing. Is there any other stuff that you guys think that we should discuss in this working group? Anything else? Or this sounds pretty good?
I mean, it might be a good place for people to share pain points they're having or particular requests for features.
Pain points and what's the second one?
Just requests for features that would be helpful, useful.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I think, yeah, I think that sounds great. I think like I think at least like if we can do these, that would be super valuable. Yes, exactly as Greg said that like request for features. I think that's the second item basically. Like I call it a roadmap, but essentially this is like a bunch of feature requests that people want to have. Like I already see like a bunch of feature requests in this list. So what I plan to do next is for this list, I want to categorize this list into like label those like each item, each feature request. I don't want to turn that into like a wish list. I wish like I want to know like what are the urgency of that. So I want to understand like what's the urgency of that feature request. Like for example, like I try to have like labels here. Like A means like I need that in production right now. Without that, it affects my customers. B is like the feature has been planned for the next 6 months. We plan to roll out to production, but it's not like something that's burning right now. C is like something it's nice to have, but I don't have immediate plan to use that feature. I just heard that some other system has that. I mean, we probably should have that. Any other category you guys think that we should categorize those features? This is kind of just something that I came up.
Can we consider, instead of using ABC, map them to either the Java style like blocker critical or something like T0, P1, where there's another family of priority description? I think ABC doesn't really explain.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's use T1, T2, T3. Things like that. Any other category you guys think that we should add to this label? Like say, like for example, should we have a T3 or T1.5, things like that? Like, and what is that? Things like that. But if not, like we can just go with that and trying to label all these demands, feature requests, so that's the first thing I want to do. Try to label the urgency of those things, and then I think we need to go through each. Like we need to go through those like top urgency items and trying to label the difficulty. I think we can do that today as well, trying to label like how hard it is. Like I like use large, medium, small. Like large means like we need some discussion on that. It's not entirely clear how to solve the problem. Medium means like it's well scoped problem. Design is very clear. But it involves some other component in Mesos, so you need to have some deeper knowledge about Mesos. Small means it's still a well scoped problem, but all the changes are local to the containerizer. So is there any category that you guys think that's that like should we have like an extra small, which is trivial, that maybe like documentation change like that? If not, I think we can just go with that first and see how that works and go from there.
Yeah, I think those are good.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 categories sounds good to me.
Okay, great. So yeah, I think like right now, so today's agenda is we try to like find out. I think like what I plan to do right now is like I try to find those like T0 items from this list. Like I know like some people put those items there. Like is there any T0 things that you guys think we should do like right away affect your customers?
So yeah, obviously the garbage collection, image garbage collection things.
Okay.
So I think Zhitao gonna be the agree on that item, right?
Okay.
Uber gonna lead it for production.
Okay. T0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to have another person join me. So I try to put the microphone. Let's put this one. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can, but maybe you can't hear us.
Now we can.
Thank you.
I'm here, by the way, Kevin.
So Kevin's here with me.
Hey, Kevin.
So image GC, Gilbert mentioned the T0. I think Jita also mentioned that T0 affects production. Any other like T0 items from this list?
1 second.
Yeah, I would say like I would add this volume group ownership group.
Yeah, I will add that one as well.
T0.
Yeah.
So give you some yeah, I think we should give some people context like image GC. What does image GC means? Basically, like this is like a very specific to Mesos Containerizer that we right now all the Docker layers, but we don't have an endpoint allow people to clean up those unused Docker layer, or we don't have a garbage collection process for those unused layers. We cache those layers so that we can speed up the container launch for a different container. But we don't right now. We don't GC those layers, and we don't provide an endpoint allow operator to GC those layers. So GC has to out, which is not great. That's something that we plan to do for providing an endpoint so that operator can hit that endpoint to garbage collect, or we have an automatic way to garbage collect those layers. So volume group, ownership group, I think this is very important. I think right now it's in mass, kind of a mess in right now. So I saw some. Who sent me a message? Okay, I think it's right now it's not great because I think we only use like an owner for all the volumes right now. We just changed the owner of the volume to be the same as the owner of the sandbox, which essentially either it's frameworks user or whatever the user you specify in your command. But this has a bunch of issues, especially when you have like volume sharing, because the two different containers might be under different users and they want to share the same the volume, and then that you have the problem where that which owner should have on what volume, things like that. I think like I look at the other container orchestration system like Kubernetes, how they solve the problem. Like I realized that they solve the problem by using supplementary group. So that's something we should investigate, see if we can do the same thing. Or does that make sense? Things like that. But I do want to do a cleanup on that thing so that I think it's going to affect us, especially when we have like CSI stuff coming up and also the share volume stuff coming up. We need to solve that problem anyway. So that's something. That's the reason I think it's T0 because it's not in a so great state. Any other item that you think that should be T0?
T0 is highest priority.
T0 is like, I need that in production right now without this, like my customer.
Yeah, so compared to the others, since most of them are new features, so I think the third one for T0 might be possibly be documentation. Any?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, by the way, I think we probably should do an introduction on each other on this call. Like to get.
Is there a lot of people?
There's quite a bit of people, so we probably need to know each other.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we should do that. So sorry about that. So my name is G. I already mentioned. So I'm an Apache Mesos committer since 2013, and right now I'm working for Mesosphere. I used to work at Twitter. Yeah, maybe.
So my name is Kevin Clues. I'm a Mesos committer as well, just as of last December. I also work at Mesosphere, I previously worked at Google and did my PhD at UC Berkeley.
Okay, so maybe I'm the next. So I'm Gilbert. I'm the latest Mesos committee and focus on the Mesos containerization. So yeah, I will help a lot on this working group. So just reach out to me if you need anything.
Hello, this is Mao from Pinterest. I joined Pinterest about 1 year ago. I am running a Mesos cluster for our Spark streaming platform, and also I'm running the GPU farm on Mesos for our machine learning stuffs.
Welcome.
I should also mention I did the GPU support, so if you need to reach out to anyone for that, let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, your work is awesome. I didn't find major issues with that about it. Just some Docker registry issue or the credential helpers. Yeah, something I put into this doc. Thank you.
Awesome, great. Awesome. Greg, do you want to go for next?
Yeah, sure. My name is Greg. I work for Mesosphere as well. I'm an engineer here. And I've done not a whole lot of work on containerization thus far, but something I'm interested in. So excited for the working group.
Cool. So maybe next, Xing. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I pronounced well.
Hi, my name is Shishir. So I work for NVIDIA, and previously I used to work for Red Hat. I was a contributor to Docker, but now I'm looking to play around a little bit with Mesosphere and see what you guys are doing around the container space, mostly around user space. Yeah.
Great, welcome.
Hello, Cheng.
Cheng.
Yeah, sure. I'm Chen Heng. Just joined Mesosphere like 2 months ago, and start working in just Mesos. And yeah, I'm happy to like join like the development of Mesos. It's exciting. Thanks.
Great.
Thanks. Maybe James.
Hi, I'm James Beach. I work for Apple, general Mesos stuff. I'm not really working on containerization from Apple, but sometimes I get involved.
Great, welcome, James. Who's next? Ilya, am I pronouncing your name correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Hi, my name is Ilya. I'm working at Twitter, and I'm contributing to various parts of Mesos that we are using or we have problems with. So excited to join this work group.
Great, thank you. Welcome. Swati, like SWAI. Well, sorry, you're muted. We cannot hear you.
Hi, I'm Swati and I work for NVIDIA, and I'm just starting with Mesos Containerizer and just trying to, get myself acquainted with it. So yeah, maybe this working group would be a good start for it.
Awesome, welcome.
Thank you.
Mikhail, am I pronouncing your name correct?
Yep, absolutely. I'm production engineer at Tubular Labs. Currently, we are using Mesos for our data processing platform. I am active Mesos user for almost 2 years. My main interest here is help to test and maybe review patches and new features. And currently we want to get rid of Docker, so we are very interested in Mesos native containerizer.
Okay, welcome, Mikhail. Who's next, Dimitri?
Hi, my name is Dmitry. I'm working at Twitter. So together with Ilya, we are on the same team in Mesos our team. My main interest is probably CPU affinity here.
Okay, nice. Welcome, Dimitri. We still have like some other people is on the line, but I cannot see the name. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'll go with next. Hi, my name is Jitao. I'm joining from a conference room here in Palo Alto. Sorry, your name is not my name. I work for Uber's cluster management team, and we have been working with on Mesos for about 1.5 years. We are actually in the process of rolling out Mesos Containerizer at scale. So we are very interested in pretty much all aspects of the containerization efforts in Mesos, as well as other parts. I'm personally worked on things like containerization, HTTP API, and the certain fixes on Mesos. So nice to see everyone.
Great, welcome, Zhitao. Yeah, to meet yourself. Okay, so we have one more person who is on the line. It's calling user. I don't know your name. If you are there, can you speak up?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Pankaj. I'm from Binghamton University. I'm a student here. So I develop MPI-based Mesos framework for computational chemistry scientists with help of Docker swarms. So I'm pretty much with Docker containers and Mesos executors. So it's a good way to start and know Mesos containerization here.
Great, great. Welcome. Thanks, everyone. I think that's great. Okay, I think we should continue. We should have documentation, which is T0. Anything from like, for example, James' speech, anything from Apple that I think is like top priority, that's T0, or anything from Twitter or any other company that I think should be T0, like affecting your current customer that has to be done right now.
Well, technically, it could be the CPU affinity, because we have a customer who's interested in using it right now. But it's more complex scenario, so it needs more features than just CPU affinity.
I see. So you think it's T0 or T1? T0?
Yeah.
Okay.
T0, T1, like maybe in between.
Okay. Anything else that I think it's like a high priority that we have to fix right now, affecting users? All right. If not, we move to the next T1. Maybe like things that we plan for next 6 months and we plan to roll out to production. That's something I plan to use if we have that. Anything that I think should be in that category?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to raise the private registry support and the Docker credential helpers. In Pinterest, we are using the Amazon EC2 registry to store all our Docker images. And we use Docker credential helpers. So whenever the Docker engine require a token to pull the image registry, the Docker engine will invoke that login helper to get the authorization token, then starting to pull the metadata and the layers. So we use it on all of our Mesos agent, and the Docker containerizer can use this credential helper very good and to talk with the ECR. However, the Mesos containerizer cannot use it. We have to set up a separate Docker registry and run it in HTTP and in the known port. Then yeah, they can use it. We wish if the Docker the Mesos agent can support this credential helper, then we don't have to run a separate registry.
Okay. That's great. So yeah, I think that's something I don't know about. Do you have a ticket already being created?
Not yet. I'm following a ticket about the private registry or signification created by Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Yeah, Gilbert previously. But if you prefer, I can create a separate ticket.
Yeah, I would prefer a separate ticket just for that Docker credential helper, because I don't know exactly what that is. We need to do some investigation. But I think if it's affecting your current, create like a pain point in your current production setting, that we should try to see if we can solve that. If it's not too hard, that maybe you and maybe Gilbert can work together to get this problem solved.
Sounds good. Yeah, I will create a ticket.
Great.
Thank
you. Anything else that's T1?
Yeah.
We have like 6 minutes left. We should speed up. Anything that's T1?
Two things. One is the IO isolation, block IO C group subsystem. We are looking forward to not only enable the C group, but also at least get metrics out of it. And later we're going to look at how to reasonably collocate IO intensive programs with good quality assurance. Another one is the disk capacity isolations, other from XFS and DU, not only access of this one.
Okay, so that's one I need some clarification. What do you mean by other than XFS DU? You're thinking about some other mechanism?
We actually have two disks quota isolation we are looking. Interesting. One is to limit the root file system usage of the container, making sure that it's charged correctly to the sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
I believe right now a Mesos container can still use up all the disks, which is not charged in the sandbox if the write does not happen there.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the things we are interested in. The other is like there are still some interest in expanding using some other mechanism from something other than DU to do the space isolation on the sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lower priority, but we're still looking at those things. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, anything else that's T1 that you think we should prioritize? I will put this one.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is because we do have customers that wants to, so some Docker image, the first process like the SBin init, and they do rely on that init to work properly. And right now, Mesos Containerizer, the pit one is not exactly the first process inside the container. It's a helper process that Mesos agent. There's a helper that Mesos agent uses. So I think we plan to support both. Maybe not just, I mean, I think I saw some comment that people do want that behavior because Mesos control pit one means that you don't have to worry about like sweeping zombie processes. Some people like that, but some people don't like that because they want to run init themselves. So we should support both. I think.
And we should do it on a per container basis.
Yeah, we probably want to do a per container basis.
Not an agent flag, but a per container.
Yep.
Does that make sense to people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jitao, you already mentioned like we want to. Yeah, the other thing I want to add is like support all the C group subsystems. That I think we do support that right now. I think Halstand, who is another committer from Mesos, from Asia, unfortunately he cannot join the call. But he had all the subsystem support for C groups. But right now we are missing one thing, which is like I want to have a single isolation flag allow us to enable all the subsystems inside in Mesos. Like whatever subsystem available on the system, use that. Enable that subsystem. Rather than ask operator to manually specify, but we should still support like allow operator to manually specify those C group systems, subsystems. But
maybe that's a broader question of how do we have sort of auto detection of what we want for isolators. Unless you're saying this isolator would be all C groups and then it just gives you whatever's available.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah, right now the architecture already being changed by Halstand where like there's a single C group isolator, you have a bunch of subsystems, and I think we're lacking one like auto detect all the available subsystems and enable them all like in one flag rather than ask operator to manually specify those flags. I think that's something we want as well.
One other thing that made me think of that's not on the list is device injection for the devices C group.
Oh, that's already done.
That's already done now?
Yeah. I
think
it's done by the company in China called Douban.
Mm-hmm.
They are running GPU and the Infinity Band, and they want to inject the Infinity Band device into container, and they did that already. So
and it's already in master?
It's in master, so we're still adding documentation.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him to add documentation.
Okay, great.
That support is there, yeah.
I also have one idea which is not listed, but currently I have no idea how could it be implemented. Maybe it is related UnionFS. So actually, I'd like to have a host system provisioned to container as a read-only layer, and all changes, for example, for provisioning or installing some software, is doing to write available there. So after provisioning container, we just have a copy of host system with changes only related to containers. This is my base idea.
Hold on. So I don't get. Did you guys get it? Can you repeat what are you saying?
Yeah. Okay. Current implementation, we have either change the host file system, or we use entire container image like Ubuntu or something else.
Yeah.
My idea is pick host file system as read-only union of S layer, and all changes made by container are made to write-only layer.
So host file system as the base layer.
Yeah.
In read-only, like the sandbox, I guess.
Kind of like
Layer.
CoreOS does.
Yeah, something like overlay, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something that you think is T1 that you need that, or it's like?
Yeah, it will save a lot of space and actually efforts to provision system, because we could provision only host and just make a very small differences on right layer.
Okay. So that's great. Okay. Anything else is T1 that you want to call out? I want to call out another one that we plan. So it's related to this. So how to support running Docker daemon inside Mesos container. So in general, we want to solve this problem that we want to. So the context is like many people run Docker for CI/CD, and they need Docker daemon to do Docker build. And we do want to run, like, for example, Jenkins, right? And right now, like some of the Jenkins integration using like Docker containerizer and Docker in Docker. I wish that they can run their Docker in Docker container using Mesos container. And there's something that we need to do to support things like that, especially I think something like a C group namespaces, maybe user namespace, I don't know. So that needs some investigation. But the problem I try to solve is how to run Docker daemon inside Mesos container.
And we've tried it before, and it just
I think it's gonna affect our customer. I think we definitely want to use that for our like Jenkins stuff.
Interesting.
Couldn't we just pass the socket inside container and that would be it?
Yeah, so that's one way, but the problem with that is the Docker daemon is still outside. I think the goal is trying to, like, we don't deploy a Docker daemon on the host, but you can still run CI/CD pipeline.
So I think a good starting point would be for you guys to look in the CI of Docker. What Docker does is run all its CI tests on Ubuntu image, and they actually run daemon inside Docker and run the test against it. That's what my understanding is. I might be wrong, but that's when I used to do it. It's like that.
That's exactly I want to achieve that. I don't know if I don't think it's possible right now in Mesos container, especially we don't have things like C group namespaces. So you run multiple. If you run multiple Mesos container on the same host, they're going to conflict with each other on C groups. So that's something I want to do. I definitely want to have that feature. Anything else? If not, the rest will be just T2.
Can you clarify what does pre-post start and the pre-post finish hook mean, and what's the difference of that from that and the current hook modules?
Yeah, who added this item?
I added. There's a ticket. It's a 7,000 plus ticket and reported by Jason.
Our Jason Lai?
Yeah.
I think
so.
So
I'll also put him offline then, see what he actually means.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be great to understand like what's the urgency of this ticket.
I would say it might be T2.
Okay, yeah, I think we should let Jason comment on this one because he created tickets.
Another thing I'm very interested in exploring is unify the different various image stars as well as fetchers cache and have a unified RU
that one
manifests.
Is there an item here, unified caching?
I think it has been brought up in the design phase of the image GC, and people agree that sounds a great idea, but it probably needs people to go back.
I see.
but they should be T2 at most. No,
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Great. Okay. So anything else? If not, I'll just treat the rest as T2.
I just wanted to ask one thing about that backend storage driver per container. Whoever has raised this, can you give a little bit more idea about what that means? Is it like a storage driver in every container, or what does it mean?
Yeah, I think Gilbert, you add this one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
so
think.
basically,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the context is like right now we support multiple like backend. Like in Docker's term, it's like a graph driver, but in our term we call backend. So backend right now has like a copy, which is like a VFS storage driver, like
right, like device mapper or overlay. Or
yeah, we don't have device mapper. We only have like overlay AUFS, and
but that is still on the host level, right? What do you mean by per container?
Yeah,
it should be per volume and not per container, as I understand it.
Per volume?
Per volume?
Yeah, as in current implementation.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so let me try to explain. So so if you look at Docker daemon right now, that when you start Docker daemon, you have to specify the graph driver, either device mapper or overlay or something else, or it will auto detect for you. And all the container launched by that daemon will share the same driver, same storage driver, they use the same thing.
Right.
What we want to support is right now, like for example, for some container, I want to use the copy graph driver. For some container, I want to use overlay. For some container, I use something else.
That would be good. Yeah.
So that's this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Thank you.
Well, yeah. If you have any question on any item, feel free to ask. I think we have like 24 minutes left. I do want to get to the place where like I try to find like who can work on what and who are the potential reviewers, so that it's a working group. So I wish like we can work together and get these things done.
Yeah. So before we get into that that stage, so I have two more items from Zhitao for Uber. So one is the inject task to the task group or launch a new task group. I think it is like, let's say we have a current running task group with all tasks running, and then we might dynamically to inject more tasks into that task group. Is that what Uber currently is seeking for?
So I'm still working on further clarifying what the current code base already offers. I talked with Anand the other day. He told me that it's already possible to add new task group to the default executor as of 1.2, so we may not need further changes right now.
Okay.
And we are also still trying to design based on how the framework API will look like based on what Mesos would offer to us. So I think it's a little bit early for us to formalize the request right now. Maybe after a couple of weeks will be more clear.
Yeah. So currently we are supporting the multitask group with our default executor. So it might be cover the case to launch a new task into a running task group.
I think on high level, two primitives are very interesting to us. One is resizing a running container or executor without interrupting any running bits, like whether it's a task or necessary container or stuff. The other is to replacing the content of a running container without going through the entire offer cycle. But both seems like bigger than the containerizer workgroup, because it heavily involves on Mesos API.
Okay. I think we should chat this offline. I think like some of the feature, I think we definitely already provide, like changing the resources. If you send a task, it will expand the resources. But the other thing I'm kind of curious is like you're saying that you don't want to go through an offer cycle and changing the container somehow.
Yes. I think there are workarounds of modeling this through custom executors and stuff, but we're trying to see whether we cannot do those custom things.
Okay, so it would be great. You can add an item there, and or maybe just create a row there in the doc. I think everyone has the right permission. You just create a row there and say your demand there, like T1, if you really want that.
Okay.
I think that reminds me another thing that we definitely want right now, the standalone container support. So the context for that one is, I think there's already a ticket for that one. So the context for that is that right now, Mesos Containerizer, you can only use that with Mesos. You have to go through an offer cycle, get resources, and launch a task. that use some resources and that will translate to a container. But for some cases that people just want to go to the box, the agent box, and just launch a container standalone, like say, hey, it's like Docker run. And the reason we want to add that support is for the CSI work, the storage work, because CSI, the plugin container is going to be a container, either Docker image or OCI image. It doesn't specify that, but it's a container. So we want to launch the CSI plugin container using Mesos Containerizer or Docker Containerizer. It doesn't matter. But we want to support that without going through the offer cycle. It's like treating Mesos agent as a daemon and ask the daemon to create some containers and properly recover those containers when agent restart, things like that. And also it will be useful if we have a better CLI in the future. I think we are working on that. Kevin and some of the people is working on the Mesos CLI so that you can do like Mesos space, container space, run Docker image name, things like that in the future by just hitting that operator API on the agent. So that's something we are working on right now. So I would say it's T1 because we need that for CSI stuff. All right, so I think that's good enough. Like, I think we have a lot of things. So I think one thing I want to do here, we have 20 minutes left in today's meeting. I want to see who are willing to work on some of the items here or willing to help on working on some of the items here. And who can be the potential reviewers. Reviewer don't have to be a committer, they can be a contributor as well. I'm just helping review, but I just want to call out the review. I mean, we just want to say something about review here. So I do want review to be a thorough review rather than just a flyby review. Like the meaning of giving a ship it or like you doing a review is like you're willing to debug the code for that person 2 a.m. in the morning, in the dark, outside without your pants, things like that. So that's the meaning of like giving a ship it. So I do want review to be like a thorough review if you want to help, rather than just some style issue fixes, things, something like that. Okay. So is there anyone who wants to help on the image GC, or who can be the potential reviewers? So we try to like balance the workload for each reviewers. I think right now, previously, I think the lesson we learned is like it's not going to scale if we only have 1 or 2 reviewers for the entire containerization part. So I think we should like spread the workload, and if there's anything that needs to be discussed, we should have a discussion first without like go through like iterate on the review board many times and didn't go anywhere.
So I think the image GC assignee should be just how he posted the site out, and he has patches as well. So
okay, yeah, actually I forgot one thing. I haven't labeled the difficulty. Like maybe we should do the difficulty first and then do assignees. Like I think we can do a very quick like 5 minutes labeling all those difficult. I think image GC is L. We need discussion on that.
Hey, just a suggestion. Maybe we can have at least an epic for each one of these topics is pretty big, right? So if we can have an epic for each one of these, it'll be easier to just track everything in the Jira if possible.
Yeah, I think that's something I will do. So create tickets for the things. Yeah, I don't think all of them are like large. Some of them I don't think it's large. So I will try to label these very quickly. So volume ownership, I think this needs some discussion. So it's large. Documentation, I would say like small. CPU infinity, we need discussions. This one I would say small. My understanding, it should not be too much.
Yeah, I think the integration is not so hard. If you agree, we can add such an integration into Mesos agent, then I'm willing to work on it.
Sounds good. So yeah, I think we can deal with assignee like after we finish the labeling. So block IO C group, I think this is small. I think we don't need too much discussion on this one. It's pretty like well-defined and local to the containerizer. This one, I don't know what exactly this. I label as large. This one, I'll say medium because it's pretty involved. This one, I would say is medium. We know exactly what we need to do, but we need to do some coding. It's kind of a little involved. This one, I would say
large.
large. We need to figure out like, is it possible? This one is large. Standalone container, I think we're already working on that. I think it's kind of medium, not large. Okay, so great. Assignees, Gamal, I think you mentioned you want to work on this one.
Yes, I can work on that.
All right, cool. Who can review that? I think who has the context to review this?
Yeah, Gilbert review for me.
Yeah. Currently, I'm working on the registry per container, so I think I can review on this one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Chong can help on this one too. I think he has the context on this one as well.
Yeah.
Great. Zhitao, you mentioned you want to work on this one.
Yeah, Zhitao already have to decide.
Yeah, I think Gilbert. I think like you're involved in many things. Like maybe you should not like ask Chong to review this one, so we spread the workload evenly.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyone volunteer to do this? Volume ownership group cleanup. I'll volunteer on this one because I think it's a mess right now. I need to do some cleanup for this one. I think
I think I can help with that.
What's her name?
Ilya.
Oh, Ilya. Great.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So I think you create a couple ticket about the ownership already.
Yeah, maybe this way is better.
Yep.
Yeah, we can discuss that together. I think something I did some research recently on Kubernetes, how they support that, and sounds like, and also chatting with people, sounds like a supplementary group is the only plausible way of solving the problem. So yeah, we can have a discussion on this one. Yeah, we need help on documentation. I think right now documentation is in a pretty bad state, especially for Mesos Containerizer. I mean, there's some historical reason that we don't add documentation. Like I think many of the time, like I think it's early back to the day where we add, like me and some of the person are at Twitter, that we just want to deploy things at Twitter like without worrying about the community. But right now it's not the case. I think we're missing a lot of the isolated documentation in Mesos Containerizer documentation.
So for this one, I volunteer to do the documentation, and I might need you to review. G.
Okay. CPU affinities. Who can?
Yeah, this is Dmitry. I actually have a working prototype for this, but the issue is that it's like it contains big bin packing problem inside. So like we need to have some design first, which like tries to overcome this or solve this.
Yeah. So yeah, I would suggest. So do you guys are open to have a discussion like next time, like on the working group? Like you can use this as a forum to discuss that. Maybe like next time, like prepare some material to state what the problem is, what kind of problem you want to solve, and what's the current proposal, and what's the pros and cons, things like that. We can do some.
Yes, I discussed. I remember that I discussed this with you, but then I got some other issues to take care about. So this was postponed.
I think moving forward, I think we should use this forum, and I think like maybe other people has different opinion, they have more experience on that, and I think we should solve the problem collaboratively rather than being blocked by a single person, which is essentially me. I kind of feel bad about that.
I have some document prepared. With,
if possible, can you discuss? We can just generate discussion next time. Seems that it's a pretty high priority issue for you guys. So we should try to come up with a solution for that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So the action item for this one is like maybe discuss next time. All right, sounds good. Block IO, who can work on that?
Can you put Jason and my name on this? We'll follow up on this to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Jason already have a decided for the block IO SQL subsystem.
Yeah, actually, this is a high priority for us as well. So yeah, we should get that done. It's not that complicated.
So I think maybe Jason work on that and Zhitao as a reviewer. Does it sound fair?
I think we still need do we still need a committer to review this anyway?
Yeah.
I will review the code regardless, but I do want an external reviewer to making sure what we are doing is aligned here.
Yeah.
So I can
yeah, I think Uber, you should help on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
You're working with Uber pretty closely. I think you should be the one that for this as well.
No problem.
Yeah, it's okay to leave some empty item here. Since Kevin already left, I can try to assign this to Kevin maybe. I think he expressed an interest before, and I can review his code. This Kokoda, so this needs some more discussion. Jita is from you guys, and it would be great to understand what kind of, because I don't know, like, is there a ticket for that one?
I don't remember. I think I mentioned the idea, but may not have filed a ticket yet.
There are similar tickets in Docker Open. Actually, quotas in XFS is performed using project quotas. Same possibility for ext4 file system appears in kernel, as I remember, 4.8. So.
Yeah, I think we already have XFS support. I think like ext4 is like you need a very new kernel to have project quota. We don't have that yet, so maybe that's something we can work on if people have a very new kernel. We also have like a POSIX DU, basically like doing DU periodically to enforce the quota, which is not ideal. So that's the reason we suggest people to use the XFS if possible. But I think just how you're mentioning something different than this. That's my understanding. So yeah, we should have a discussion on this one. Maybe take that offline, and maybe you should create a ticket first. Like stay with the issue you want to solve.
Okay.
So to do is here is Jital is create tickets.
Okay.
All right, so host file system has a base layer, but has writable layer on top of that.
I guess we need a ticket for that first.
Yeah, we should have a ticket for that first.
Yeah.
So who mentioned this? I forgot.
It was me, Mikhail.
Oh, Mikhail, can you create a ticket?
Sure.
And do you have time to work on this, or?
I could try, but I actually has. Okay, I will try.
Okay, yeah, I will say like let's create a ticket first and iterate on the tickets. I think if that's a high priority, we should discuss together and see what's the best way forward. I think this is an interesting feature we might consider using. So who's gonna take ownership on this one? Supporting Docker daemon inside Mesos container. There might be some other working group member not in this call, so I'll see if someone can work on this one. Maybe either Houston or Chen. I'm not sure Chen is on this call or not. Yeah, I'll temporarily assign to me, and I'll find out some people to work on this one.
Yeah, you can assign it to me if you want.
Okay, yeah, I think Gilbert, let's spread the workload evenly.
Yeah.
I think one person should not like doing too much stuff, because otherwise it will be blocked by that person. Unify artifacts caching.
I think this involves a lot of discussion about the future of these components.
Yeah, we should have a discussion first. Maybe we schedule a discussion session in this working group on this one. I think like we have some thoughts in mind, especially regarding like content addressable things. How do we unify with our fetcher cache, things like that. We should. I mean, it's also related to OCI, so I'm almost like wants to assign this to Chen, who is working on OCI support right now. But yeah, let's have a discussion first. Maybe like a next time. So I think next time we have CPU affinity discussion. Maybe this one as well. I don't know, like maybe the one after the next. Okay, So standalone container, I assigned to Joseph. I think he's the one that's working on that right now. I think I'm reviewing the patches. It's almost there, so I'm gonna just say that. Okay, we have 6 minutes left. That's great. I think that's pretty productive, this meeting. Anything else that you guys want to bring up, like things that that you think we should do, things like any comments or suggestions, or any comments to this working group? First of all, do you guys think that's useful?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, G, I added one more line item on the roadmap, which is basically network statistics for CNI. It's been like pending for a while. I don't know if you want to add it to the roadmap or just keep it pending.
Okay. So what do you have like a urgency, like a T0, T1, T2?
I would call it T1.
T1.
Yeah.
Sorry, as I recall correctly, there is already existing plugin for Mesos. If you give me a minute, I could share a link with that.
Sorry, I didn't follow that. Could you just repeat?
As I recall correctly, there is already existing plugin with support of that for Mesos.
So there's a CNI isolator, but we don't support any network statistics for containers running on CNI.
Okay, let me please find the link. If I will find it, I will post it to the table.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think maybe we should do here is like if we don't have any person volunteer, we should have a column here, say volunteer, like help wanted, something like that, so that if any community members see that's like interesting and they want to really working on that, maybe they can pick them up.
Sounds good.
We should figure out the reviewer. Maybe Avinash, you can review that.
Yep.
If not have time like working on that, and yeah, we should call like help.
There's also, so I'm just trying to figure out the purpose of this right now. We also have the CNI spec bump to 0.3 that we need. Should we add it over here?
Yeah, sure. Let's
okay.
Here.
Okay.
I found the link. It's called Port Mapper Network Isolator, and I shared the link into the chat, and it supplies all necessary statistics.
Yeah, so the problem is that the CNI port mapping network isolator is a completely different network isolator. You can't use it everywhere. So the port mapping network isolator is a completely different isolator. So the CNI network isolator is a default network isolator. That's the one that networks like Calico and other virtual networks plug into. And for that, we don't have any networking support right now. Network statistics support.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I think like I want to call out here, like if we want to tag something as help wanted, I do want that item to be small item, because otherwise it doesn't make sense if you need some discussion on, because I don't think it's gonna make I don't think it's gonna some outsider or like some people don't have much experience that can work on this item without yeah, I think it should be small items, and I think it should have a reviewers at least for those things. I think we should call out those things I'll send out the notes to the dev list and see if anyone is interested in working on those items. And great, and then we have a reviewer already. Great, cool. So any suggestions, comments? Great. I think we are on time, and thank you everyone. See you guys in 2 weeks. And
just one comment, G.
Oh.
The discussion that we're going to have, it would be awesome as a first cut if somebody can put up a few slides rather than just throw it. I mean, if they want to send a document to the user mailing list, that's fantastic. But if they can just capture their high-level ideas in a bunch of slides, especially because everybody is remote.
Okay, yeah.
To just pass the documentation. So if somebody can give a 10-minute presentation on exactly what the high-level ideas are and what the problem that they're going to solve, it'll help the discussion a lot.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. So I'll follow up with the guys that wants to have a discussion. That's great. I think we're on time. Thank you everyone, and see you guys in.
So before we ended the meeting, so could we send out an email about this Google Doc to the mailing list?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
I think the Apache rule that we have to make sure that everything discussed here are on
Yeah.
the list. So that's why what I plan to do next once this meeting finishes.
Yeah, because as far as I can see, for most of the Mesos developer or user from Asia, they might not be able to attend because it's around after the midnight here in China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Thanks for the tip. Great. Okay. See you guys in 2 weeks. So in 1 week.
Thanks. See you
All right.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.